Okay, here we are. It's Tech Tuesday. It is time to learn. This week, we're going to be talking about how to work your business like a business, whether you work full-time, part-time, got 3 hustles, whatever. You got to know the rules to play the game. And so this question was asked of me, and I want to make sure we dive in what that actually looks like. And so part of knowing the rules, right, is where do you want to be? So that's the first thing. And that's a question that you have to ask yourself. Where do I want to be 6 months to a year from now? Typically, business happens in why you hear quarters, because there's something you can implement every single quarter that is going to help you. So, for example, if you just came into real estate or even just started a business, right? Everything that you do that first, second, and fourth quarter that adds to a year is going to compound to your second year. Everything you do the second year, you got now the first and the second to ride out your third. The third, you have your first, second, third to ride out your fourth. Does that make sense? Because business, honestly, the success of business happens. I'm going to say, depending on the market and the shift and where you are, it takes 5 years. I have not seen a business that hasn't been successful take anywhere between 5 to 10 years, but you have to implement these intricate parts to see what if it's in your language, the success, right? So for me, I'm doing stuff in my sleep now. That's when you know you're successful and you need to be moving to something else. So I'm hitting 6 figures every year. So guess what I need to do now? I need to shift and implement. How can I make more? What do I need to do make more? So one thing that I forced myself to do after I've been repeatedly requested, Angel, you need to start a team. I don't want a team. I don't want to manage nobody. I don't want to do any of that, right? But I had to push myself to start a team so that I can now pour into other people and see the success of what I was doing and helping them grow. It helps me grow. Then I had to get involved. So we're in this real estate realm, right? So we have different rules. We have our association, we have our Bright MLS, we have our Century Lot, so we have like different rules to our game for us to be able to be successful in our business. Because if we have a seller, we don't want to put a combo lock on the house, right? We want to invest in a Century Lot. Having a Century Lot requires us to be with an association. To be with an association, we got to pay our association fees that are due. And I don't know if y'all saw the email this morning. The association fees are now due. I was like, woo, $756. How many people on here has the 756 to just go ahead and click the button and start their dues right now? Not many, right? Not many people in our industry are going to have, right, the money. And then that makes them ponder, what didn't I do? Oh my God, I should have did more. I should have, oh my God, I should have made more phone calls, or I should have talked to more people, right? Because those things would have gotten you to where you like, oh yeah, I got my dues. Let me go ahead and renew today. The email came out today, I'm going to renew today, right? It sounds that simple, but it's not, right? But that first, second, that third, and that fourth quarter, they come really, really fast, especially in a changing market, right? So, yes, the quarterly dues, the national dues. So you got the state due, the local due, the national due, and then they have a Love RPAC due, right, which is $35. So there's a lot of stuff in those dues, right? Not to mention our Bright MLS every 3 months, right? And then our Century is I think it's every 3 months. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Because I'll be honest with you, one of my rules is I pay in advance. I pay in advance so I don't have to stress about, oh my God, did I do something? Did I not do something? It's not, I can't pay my Bright, I can't pay my Bright fee, right? I can't pay my Century fee. So I pay everything a year in advance. So that is my rule. In the, if I have it's like a virtual, I pay in advance. If I subscribe to any platforms that are going to help me do business, I'm trying to think of one of the platforms, like I'm trying to think one of them. I have so many. I have like HomeBot. I have like RSP, Prospect Plus, those things like that does my mailers and stuff like that. I pay in advance. I pay a year in advance. The second rule to that is you know what you're going to write off on your taxes. So if you paid all those things in advance, come December, you already know you kicked out X amount of dollar for your business. The next rule to the game is presentation. Listen, your girl got to get her hair done, okay? New hair. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's curly, sometimes it's short. But all of those things, I plan it out. I typically, I have learned, right? So I'm giving you guys this information because I've learned it, right? I plan everything out. Good morning. It's okay. We just started. I plan everything out. I know I'm going to get my hair done every 6 weeks, right? So I really try to, I know every 6 weeks I'm going to be kicking out anywhere between 100 and typically $100 because I'm frugal. I got my home girl. I got a home girl. So I know between 100 and 150, I'm going to have a new hair, right?
Right.
For guys, it's the grooming, right? My son haircut is $40. Like it's $35. Yes, it's $35. And then I always give a tip. I started making him bring his own money now. But yeah, so I plan all of that stuff out. And guess what? Yes, they get written off on the taxes too. My daughter gets her hair done every 6 weeks too. I write that off on the taxes too. So the rules to the game is to kind of give an idea, right, of the kind of money that you're going to kick out. Have that aside if you can. Even if you have a full-time job, it might be like $3,000 that you have to have aside for your business to work for 12 months. And then you use that money to help you grow your business, to only do things that are going to help you grow your business. If you're going to attend a conference, so we just had our EXP, or we're having our EXP conference, you have to decide, am I going to attend that or not? Because you're kicking out like about $2,000. I'm going to say 2,000, 2,500. Yeah. Because the tickets for the conference are like $800. You got flight, you got hotel. You got flight, you got hotel, and then you have eating, when you go out, I had to go to the Usher concert last year, child. Whew, that was a nice little penny. But so those are things you want to set aside. Yes, Eddie, go for it.
I'm curious what the return on investment is for that conference. So just like any conference, like what are you walking away with that will position you to make whatever you spent or times that back?
to make it back. Right.
Mhm.
So for the EXP conference, we get stock back. We actually get that money back that you kicked out. So we get it. And if so, two things. If you have sponsored someone, you definitely get that money back. You also build relationships. Like I have relationships that I have built from just being there, right? People who send a referral just from being there. Um, so not only stocks, relationship, but you also get a write-off. You can write it off on your taxes. It's also a business expense. So I highly advise it. I am not going this year, unfortunately, because it does fall on the week of my wedding anniversary. But I would have been there, and then yes, I would have been back at the Usher concert. But there's so much to do. So that was a great question. That is a great question. You do get something back. Anytime you do something, any conference, any event that you go to, your ROI should always be who you met, one, how you can help them, and how they can help you. Business relationships go a long way in our industry and other industries, right? So we have Sonia on, and she's with when I first, well, about 2 years ago, I made a decision again. I'm going to get involved with three things. I got involved with the Women's Council. I got involved with BWM, which is Business Women Network, and then I got involved with something called LaTip. I knew I wanted to do something with like a referral source as one of my activities. So it was either BNI or LaTip. I happened to find LaTip because of Sonya. I love our conversation when we talk. We didn't join the we didn't join the LaTip that we were supposed to join, but Sonya called me a few months later, was like, hey, we have a new chapter, is blah, blah, blah. I joined. Sonya and I are still friends. Sonya and I, not just friends, but she has a company called Cure My Credit, right? And she not only has referred people to me, but I have referred people to her. And that's been since 2020, 2020, 2021. Okay. So yeah. So, and that was just a phone conversation. And then we, met. And then now she's in Florida. Now that I have a team and I have agents that are in Florida, guess who I'm going to be sending my stuff to? Sonya, because she in Florida now. And not only that, she in Florida, she still know her Maryland, DC people, as well as Stacy. Stacy is part of LaTip. So Stacy took my seat, and LaTip, now she has DC, Maryland, and Virginia in LaTip, right? So the connections are just,
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
they're ridiculous. That's what I want to say.
Yes.
I was going to say overwhelming, but no,
Yeah.
they're amazing. And I'm also part of Mocha Mom. So I used to be president for a Mocha Mom chapter in Howard County. So it's just your involvement. You have to make a conscious decision on what you're going to get involved with. Again, knowing the rules, right? And sometimes you don't know the rules right away. You just kind of fall into the rules like, oh. So, and I shared this week at our team meeting, that, sorry, I'm getting our carpet done if you can hear banging.
No, we really don't hear it.
Okay, yes. So one thing I shared was I got pulled into being YPN's chair for Howard County Association of Realtors because the chair vanished, like literally vanished. I joined. I wanted to just be a committee meeting. I was excited about YPN, which is Young Professional Network. Every association has one. And I just wanted to get involved to like meet other realtors, and because I was just coming kind of back in the business since 2000 and I'm gonna say 2009, right? I first was licensed in 2002, but and I was just coming back in the business like 2018, 2019. I'm like, I don't really know anything, right? Like I know how to close transactions like from my past experience, but this is new for me. Like I didn't know anybody, right? So me getting pulled into that role just by me saying yes, and I was in my Year of Yes book by Shonda Rhimes, right? So I was in Year of Yes. I was like, I was going to say yes to things that made sense. And my kids were small. My kids are 10 now. So that was what, 4 years ago? Yeah. So I got pulled into that YPN chair. Then I got pulled and tapped on the shoulder to come a board of director. Nothing about the board. I had to Google everything. Okay. I was like, what do they do? What does that mean? I like, so, so that, okay. Sorry. So I had to do that. I did that. And then I got tapped on the shoulder again to like, hey, why don't you apply for secretary? We would love for you to just one day be the president of HCAR. And I'm like, listen, time out. This is a little bit too much. And I was very hesitant. So I had to talk to like certain people like Stacy, and like, oh my God, Stacy, what do I do? Da, da, da. She's like, girl, you better do it. You better do it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I researched. I was like, oh, okay. Because y'all know I'm nobody's secretary. I know how to delegate. I can teach, but taking notes and but then I realized, oh, it's not about note taking. It's about like the leadership part. It's about being able to help people on a whole different level that I'm not knowledgeable about. You So sorry about that, guys. So I realized it's just a larger form of leadership, right? And so now with this role, now I have to go to National Association of Realtors conferences. I got an email the other day, like, oh, you've been registered. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking that the thing is going to be 3 days. It's like 5 days, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this is real. Oh my God, this is real. So that's part of knowing the rules. I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to get Stacy or Sonia, if you want to jump in about some of the rules that you've learned in your industry. And I'm going to go sign this paper real quick.
Okay. And by some of the rules. So, I mean, I know speaking to what you were just speaking about, the getting involved and getting engaged, it just made a big difference for my business. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just in terms of actually, like you said, almost being thrust into leadership positions, but as a result of being thrust into a leadership position, it has meant growing relationships. So that's made a big difference. Actually, the chapter that Angel just mentioned with Latip, I was the president of the chapter, and I was president of the chapter for, I want to say 2 years. It might have been a little over 2 years, but possibly a little over 2 years. But out of those connections, there's so many referrals that I got from the relationships that I made with the people that were in the chapter, associated with the chapter, that came through to visit our chapter, that I met on on a national level, because the LITIP is not just a local organization, it's a national organization. So just by wearing the title of president required that I step up a certain level and say, okay, so how do I wear this hat? And as a result of wearing that hat and like like Angel said, actually then Googling and saying, what do I need to do? What is this going to require of me? I don't know how to do this, but it just really fake it till you make it. Get in there and engage with people and share what you have, share the gifts that you have. And I love how she put the ROI. I would say that's for conferences, but also it's for organizations that you are involved in. Who are you meeting? How can you help them, and how can they help you? And it just says, to me, it's really grown my network. Stacey, you have anything you wanted to add to that? Stacey has been a phenomenal asset to our chapter.
Oh, okay. Sure. So yeah, so I started off just as the DC agent when I first joined LaTip, and because Angel was the Maryland agent. And so then I became both DC, Maryland, Virginia agent now. And I was the membership chair before. Now I'm the vice president of our chapter. So it's great. We're trying to implement some changes. The good news is if anybody is interested in coming to our meeting, you can come. Because since I'm the realtor, I can say you can come because you're part of the team. And if I had to miss for whatever reason, you can stand in my place and get some tips too. So anyway, that's like my little recruit there. But it's been great. I will tell you that I just recently had someone in LaTip from New York send me a tip for a listing in Maryland because it's an estate sale. Their father passed away, so they need to sell this property in Maryland to buy a house in New York. So that's good, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
Even though it might be, it's a national chapter, you never know who is in those other chapters and they need somebody in our area. So it's been great. I've gotten some rentals and to establish a relationship with some other tips. I know Sonia's given me a young lady, which that should turn into a listing if we can get it all together.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So So I have a little helper here. That's why I have my camera off. Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi, Zay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been great. It's a great opportunity to network, to get some other ideas from other business owners and other business categories. And then you get to practice your spiel. So to become a better public speaker because we get to speak. We do like a commercial. So you can work on that, like your elevator pitch. So it's a great opportunity to do all of those things and be with some cool people.
Okay. And it really helped me out a lot too, because it's like, oh, I just sell real estate. And it's like, no, but why? Why will I use you? And so it really, really made me think, right? So my tagline is always like, I'll go wherever my clients need me. So that's why you always hear me say that, because I learned that from LaTip. Like, why would I use you? But it's been a great experience. And I don't know if Sonia shared, but she was the president.
I did.
Okay, you was the president.
Well, you said I was the president before you got off.
Yes,
But yeah,
she was the president of LaTip. And so it's like, oh, I mean, it's just, and we were virtual. We did everything virtual.
We did.
Right. So and that was a learning curve in itself. Right. So we didn't really know the rules to that game, right? But we figured
it out. Yeah. I
out.
learned LaTip. Like, I came in not knowing what LaTip was about, but the more I jumped in and was like, okay, let me, like you said, Google, roll my sleeves up, jump in at every chance that I got, go to different meetings. Like, how do I get to engage so that I learn and pick up? And I think one of the things that, well, based on what you just said, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So you've got to put yourself out there so that people know you, like you, and trust you.
And trust you all day long. And even if you can't do something, they'll say, you know what, I was going to call you first because I don't want any other recommendations if it doesn't come from you. I get that a lot. I still have sellers that pick up the phone, was like, listen, I know I can go on all these, but I know you know somebody. And I'm like, oh, actually I do. Let me get back to you. And you're always and when that happens, guess what? You're always on top of mind for them. Anytime somebody talks real estate, right? They're they're going to think of you. Like, I know that they're not in this state, but I know they know somebody. And that's kind of what you want. Those are the rules that they don't tell you, right? You can go through the classes, you can pass the test, you can get licensed in all these different states and jurisdiction. But the real rule is getting people to know you enough to like you, trust you, and to call you when they need something. Like, I love teaching. Just I do. I didn't realize how much I loved it. But I like it even more when I see the people that I've taught making money, like going on trips with their families, like just doing stuff. Like, I just thrive off of that. So it's about 12:02, and I do want to share something with you so you can kind of really, really, really dial down like what it looks like to run your actual business. But before I do, does anyone have any questions or comment or want to just give some feedback on what we've been talking about?
Yes, I wanted to know, is it a cost to join the tip? Or is it a yearly fee or monthly fee?
There is an annual fee.
Okay.
It is, yeah, there's a startup fee that's in the ballpark of, and Stacy can correct me if I'm wrong, like about I want to say 465, 475, but this is what
I thought it was 440.
for starting. Yeah, okay, for starting. Okay, so 440.
Okay.
and then the renewal fee is like about 375 or something like that. And like Angel said, this is one of those things that you say, okay, so one, this is an investment, and paying that off the top. And then to me, I see a few tips. I usually, with people that join the chapter, say, how many tips do you need for this to pay off? So then you know that this is what I'm looking for in terms of just at least for me to break even. This is what I need. I need at least one person to send me a lead so I can sell this house so that I can actually cover the cost for this. And then I say, and then how many would make it worth your while?
Okay.
And then what does the tip stand for?
Actually, it's just LETIP. It's not an acronym. And it is it's just a networking organization that's nationwide.
Yes, and they have different chapters. So I was part of the Chevy Chase, right? Just because I just like the name, right? I did stuff in Chevy Chase. My kids went to Chevy Chase when I was in DC. And so Stacy can talk to you more about.
Yeah, it's 440.
It's for thank you, Stacy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stacy can talk to you more about it if you guys, and that's the whole point of us having this Tech Tuesday, so we can. I talked about that on Saturday a lot, just connecting, making connections, building connections so that you can grow your business.
I think it's funny that as soon as I joined the call, y'all were talking about this, and I literally had a Realtors application like in front of me, and of course you got to pay your dues, and I'm like, girl, why am I doing this? And then of course I joined, and I'm like, y'all are petty for it. So I just want to say thank you.
You're quite welcome for the push. Yes, join. I think the Realtors is what, $5.99?
$150.
Shut up.
Okay. Well, and I can tell you, a realtor is who got me involved, and that was not something that Latip was not on my mind. And she hit me up and said, "Hey, would you be interested? And we want to start this chapter." And I'm like, I didn't even know what it was. I had no idea how it was going to benefit my business. Yeah. Now that once she invited me, we started the chapter, and then I started seeing the payoff. It's like, because every week somebody's saying, "Hey, Sonia, we know somebody else needs to get their credit done." So it's just like, it just helps you create those partnership, those business partnerships.
Yes. And the funny thing is, I've been in business for a while, right? So I know like how to vet certain people. You know, there are a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'll fix your credit. Y'all do this," and a lot of it is the behind the scenes. Like you have to know what to do for a lender's perspective, right? Not just to go out and buy a new car or go buy furniture, right? That's retail credit, right? We're talking about buying a house. We're talking about getting through the underwriter who's going to be digging through the file saying, hey, you had a car repossession like in 2012. And it's like, really? Are you serious? You know, right?
Right.
And I say that because we have a file like that. We can't go to closing, couldn't go to closing. It's September now. Couldn't go to close in September till the credit thing fell off. Petty. So, but Kiara, I'm so glad that you are joining. I'm so excited for you. I saw every week just pushing you right off the edge. That's what, so one of my lines is always to don't be around me too long because I'll push you off the edge. And I will push you over. You won't be ready, but I'll give you that nudge. So with all that, let me go ahead and screen share. Don't mind my messy computer here. So you probably have already received this from me if you're a mentee. And it's called a business planning worksheet, right? So, and I'll send this over to you if you like it. But the basis of this is just to show you, like Sonia was saying, what is the return of investment? Why am I doing this? So, can somebody give me a number how much they want to make a year? This is just I'm just playing with some numbers. Give me something.
40,000.
Okay. All right. All right, so we got 40,000. So if Kiara wants to make 40,000 a year, which is easy to do in real estate, and say the average transaction that she's going to do is 350,000. Minus the fee that's going to be on MLS, which say is 2.5%. That seems to be kind of like our averages, right? So she's going to be making about $87.50 per $350,000 transaction. Now, if you do 250, it changes. You're going to make about $62.50, right? So it changes with the price of the house that you're going to close minus what you say you want to make for the year. All right. So if you're a new agent, your split is going to be 80-20, right? So at 80% minus any type of fees, if it was a referral or anything like that, anything out of pocket, right? You pay for marketing, anything for this property, right? So say it's like 5,000, and then I pay $700 for a warranty for my buyer, right? My average is going to be about $4,300. So off of that 250, my net is going to be $6,250. My split with my brokerage, if I pay any money, right, for marketing, it's $4,300. Okay. So I need an average sale of $2,325 and $590, right? That's going to be my GCI. So when you hear people say, I sold $2 million in real estate, that's what they're saying. That what they're saying essentially is, I sold 5 houses at $250,000. So in this case, they'll say, I did $1.23 million in sales. What they're saying is I sold 5 houses at $250. So that's why, and as a new agent, that's why you guys get sold to a lot, right? Because you hear, I did 5 million, I did 10 million, right? But really what it is it's the price point of the house. So if someone's in like California somewhere and the average price point is $1 million, and they say they did 5 million, they probably sold maybe 5 houses at $1 million. So this spreadsheet, it calculates. So when I send it over to you guys, don't play with like any of the numbers, but because it will throw it off. You have to go and re calculate. But essentially, that's basically what you need to be doing. You need to be having. So if you break it down, right? If you're gonna work more with buyers, so for line this one, this is gonna be listings. Say you're only gonna get one listing, right? But you're gonna work more with buyers. So what you would do is you're going to work more with buyers. And maybe you're praying for one listing. So I bet I messed that up. I did mess that up. See how I messed that up? There we go. There we go.
Wait.
That's 100%. So now you need to sell 8 buyers a house, and there's your one listing. So it breaks down what types of transaction you need to do. So this has nothing to do with rentals or anything like that. This is strictly for buying and selling a home. So if you want to work with more listings, right? And you want that 40,000 a year, you need to be doing 8 listings and maybe 1 buyer. If the price point in our area is a little bit higher, so let's go up a little bit higher. So let's say 400,000. The average house is 400,000. In that case, if you get one listing, you need to sell 5 houses to a buyer to make that 40,000 a year. Does that make sense? And then you can break it down by the type of activity you need to do, how many buyers you need to call, how many people you need to have in your pipeline to convert. That's what this bottom portion is. I don't really use the bottom portion because I want to know how many houses or how many buyers I need to take out or how many sellers I need to contact to make this amount. This is what's important to me. Now, my number is 200,000. Let me fix that. And the average price, that's 27. So I need to be working. Not working. I need to be working, okay? Because then those numbers change. And based on what I spend, I'm going to make about 10,000 per transaction. Does that help? Anybody else want to give me some numbers and want to play around with it so you can kind of get an idea of what you want to do? And this is the rule. You need to know how much money you want to make and how that correlates to the goal when it comes to buyers and sellers. I'm not mentioning renters because we all know that that's gas money in practice and you know, our mental health. How strong are we? Are we still fighting to see another day? because those renters be taking us out. So somebody give me some numbers. Kiara gave me 40,000. Somebody give me some numbers.
I said 60,000.
60,000. All right, let's do it. All right, so we're just gonna change this.
Are we saying for the remainder of 2023?
Girl, no,
No.
we going into 2024, honey.
Oh,
No,
so
we
we're saying
done.
for 2024 is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we done. We done.
Yeah.
Our quarter is over. It's a wrap. These are the rules for the next quarter. So 60,000. Average house 400,000. If it's 2.5% commission, that's about $10,000 minus whatever you spend. So I'm gonna just take this out so you can just see an even number here. Say you ain't spend no money. There we go. That should change. That's about 84,000. So that means you would do 3,000, 3 million in GCI, right? 3 million in sale. If you want, again, listings, you would do one listing. But if you work more with buyers, you would need to close 7 buyers at $400,000 to make 60,000. I really, really hope this is helping because I use this faithfully to kind of keep track on what I'm doing. Sometimes it's a blur. 2020, 2019, 2020, that was a blur because we was getting money like it was nobody's business. We are back to the basics now. Welcome to the real estate, right? We are back to the basic. We actually have 2 works. So this will be your number. Anybody else want to throw out what you need? Any numbers? Eddie, what you
150.
got for me? 150, 150, 150. And we're going to stick, are we still sticking to the 400 price point? Or you want me to change it?
Yeah, do 450.
450? Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. 450 price point. That's a great goal to have. So you need to do a total of 17. That's going to get you to 7.5 million GCI. That means you need to do 2 listings and get 15 buyers into a house. And that's the average price point of 450 to make 150,000. So going back, this is the ROI of getting involved with and going to conferences and showing up to trainings and meeting other people. This is it. Go ahead, Sonia.
I was going to say, and I know that right now, because you've been in the game so long, that that in terms of using the bottom of that sheet, in terms of seeing, okay, how many appointments does that mean? How much? Really, this is where the engagement is at the bottom. This is how much you're going to need to be doing in order to get those listings. But right now, I know, Angel, you can just do that in your head. You already know how much work you got to do to get to those number of listings. But I like the spreadsheet because of the fact that it then tells you how many people you're needing to put yourself in front of, because it's a numbers game.
It is a numbers game. Yes. Yes. So I just plugged in, like if I'm working with 50% of buyers to close, right? I need to be talking to I need to be making at least 200 appointments. And I need 30 buyers to get me back to this 150. 30 of them need to say yes, and I need to close 15. Does that help? I kind of want to throw in a number in there just so you can kind of see like how it pans out. So 200 appointments is, I didn't want to scare y'all, but Sonia kind of pushed me to it. I was just keeping you guys at the top, but this is what it looks like. This is really how much talking you'll be doing. And I already Kiara rolling her eyes right now.
Well,
Don't
it's funny
start.
because even with you saying it, because I mean, that can convert to any industry. So, I mean, of course, the numbers would have to change, but I'm looking at that thinking, okay, so this is where you're really looking at to have this many, credit clients. How many realtors do you need to be talking to? Like, this is, actually looking at what what the conversion rate is.
That's the conversion rate. And that is why it's important to have a CRM. Because it's no way. Listen, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself because I like my downtime every now and again, right? There's no way I'm going to reach out to 200 people on my phone. I'm not. KV Core, whatever CRM you decide to use, you have your template set up. You have your campaign set up. Y'all probably all got a text from me this morning through the KV Core. It came straight to you with your name in it. And I was sitting right here. And I did that. And I copied and paste. And y'all all got the same email, which is why you're here.
I have a question.
Yes.
I mean, that you back on talking about KB calling you texting. So is it very beneficial to get the text number, the phone number?
So here's the thing. What I found out with KV Core is that number that's assigned, it's for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So I learned that the hard way. So yes, I did invest in getting a smart number. So that's $27 a month. But of course, I pay it for the year.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that. So that is another thing that I pay up for the year.
So can we talk on the phone or we just texting?
Yeah, we can talk. Like, yeah, if you call the number, you're gonna get me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You can call from your computer. So it used to be an automatic dialer.
Oh.
Now, of course, they have these add-ons where you have to choose a dialer but yeah, I used to sit at my computer and it would just dial the numbers for me. And that's how I did a lot of my conversations. So I would just sit and go into the little task section of KV Core and I just let it down. If they picked up, they picked up. If they didn't, I could put notes in that they didn't pick up and then it would dial the next number.
Oh, well, thank you. I learned something new.
You're welcome. But I also have, like I said, I also have a grasshopper number because even though I got like 25 numbers, I really don't always want people to have my actual personal number. So they just they either call my grasshopper number or they call that office number, that smart number. But my grasshopper is used for my VA. So my VA will answer the phone.
Okay. That makes sense.
My virtual assistant, VA is for virtual assistants. They answer the phone or respond to text when I am out on appointments or when I'm spending time with family.
Okay.
So that's the delegation part of it. So that's another rule to the game. Knowing the tools that you need that's going to allow you to have work-life balance. Because work-life balance is so important for your mental health. Because you're going to want to quit every week. And if you don't want to quit every week, you ain't doing something right. So, but yeah, so any questions? But yeah, so those are the rules. Those are the rules you need to know to play this game of real estate, which is very lucrative. I would not change it for the world. Like, I wouldn't change it. You can learn anything. I feel like real estate is for everyone in some capacity. You can be a TC. You don't have to be out here selling houses, right? But there's room for everybody in the world of real estate. Because everybody needs a place to stay, or everybody would like to have a place to stay. And in order to have a place to stay, you have to have the finances to stay thus place. So, with that all said, it's about 12:25. Did we have any questions? Yes, no. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for joining us Tech Tuesday. I'm gonna be right here, but for recording purposes, I'm gonna stop. So we will be back again next Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have someone that would like to join us, feel free to add them to the link, provide them, and have them pop in. I'm just going to stop recording, guys.